Day from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. It's week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cleveland Browns.
From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, so happy to be with you to kick off 2021. Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football. On first down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Jarvis Landry now in his 4th year with Cleveland, a 5-time Pro Bowler. No one plays harder in the league, and he's only missed 1 game in 7 years. He does what he always does, makes a nice catch there.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
To throw is Kaepernick. And this is caught by Williams. And this will set them up nicely deep down at KC territory. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Kaepernick. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The Browns drive about to get started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Now it appears. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bolton in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Here's Kaepernick. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a dump off here complete. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone now. Kaepernick firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Browns. Donovan Peoples-Jones. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
Kaepernick going to throw. And that is incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's second down. 2nd and 9. To throw, Kaepernick. And he completes it to Hunt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now Kaepernick operating on the bootleg. And he's got his tight end. It's Hooper for the Browns touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Browns can grab the lead if they hit the extra point.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And
the Browns drive about to get started. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Here's Kaepernick to throw. Flush to his right. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fights through, and now a crease. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked on by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And that now The Browns drive about to get started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offense.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to them. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there. Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Check, check. Lucky. Check 52.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. To throw, Kaepernick. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to it as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Hunt. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up first and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Trucks over him, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, a 6-yard touchdown run, and the Browns have cut it back within a score. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And Nick Bolton there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On play action, it's Kaepernick. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation, and what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop.
That's caught inside the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tyrell Williams, 63 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
He's airing it out for Williams. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And it's the Browns drive about to get started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. Escaping the pressure right. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Kaepernick. Rush coming, and he's taken down. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Kaepernick, got to have this one. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. They'll run with Hunt, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Kaepernick now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. The Browns drive about to get started. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. They run again with Hunt. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On 1st down, Kaepernick. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Kaepernick. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 12-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns have moved out in front.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come.